Hello everyone. Just go ahead and jump in a game right now. Gotta get the sponsor thingamajig. There we go. Alrighty roo. Now we're kind of ready to go. My camera might be a wee bit large. Now we're good. Alright, let's get into it. We've got in the top left Team Envy's creator, who is currently being engineer bay blocked. By none other than DKZ's Oliveira. Thank you very much for the 2-month resub from Seito Mori. Appreciate it. I am still working off of the single monitor screen, so this might be a little laggy right now, just because I'm all tabbed, trying to change it. But as long as nothing super important's happening, and I assume it's not past the engineer bay block, which seems to be cleaned up anyway. There we go. One thing done. And then we gotta get you guys bets, because y'all degens. Oliveira versus Creator. We nailed it. Now we're back into the game. Hopefully everything's Yuji. Okay, so in the bottom right, Oliveira, yes, went for the engineer bay block of Creator in the top left, which was handled fairly quickly. I believe a probe went down to scout it, so he was able to pull... you don't really need that many probes, actually. If you catch it really early on, as long as you stop the SCV from building it, obviously. But we got a proxy starport from Oliveira. That is a whole 1-1-1 setup. It's factory expand, but very quick. Going into those Hellions. Creator's probe is actually going to scout this, and if you see the reactored factory, you should go ahead and be very cautious about a proxy starport as well. You might even be able to go and scout it with the scouting probe, but you want to be cautious to let your units do the defense. Less so on the scouting. I was gonna say that better not be a supply block. It wasn't really. Supply depot finished. Stargate is on the way. Creator possibly already changing plans as soon as he recognized the engineering bay block. Just kind of figuring what Oliveira was gonna do next. Or this actually might have been how I wanted to play this PvT. Hard to say. But this is a very powerful response against a potential proxy starport or any Hellion play as an opener. And Phoenix also can be better than Oracles at dealing with it. This was Cyclones, which he confirmed it wasn't with the Adept. The probe did go scout the proxy starport, so everything seems according to plan A-OK for Creator, as his Phoenix is also able to immediately catch the medevac. Now, that might still not be enough. The 3 Adepts definitely need to get over here, and they're almost perfectly timed. One Hellion already picked up, another one dead, takes out the one-shot equation, and now all the Hellions are dead. Well, except this one. And the medevac is going to fly away, hoping to survive, which it probably will be able to. The Phoenix not getting chased fast enough. Oh, hold on. Nope, definitely going to find it. That is a dead medevac. Even though we have a Cyclone on the way, one Cyclone going out when there could be up to 3 Phoenix on the map very soon. Not a wise idea. So that medevac is torn down. In general, the proxy starport play only grabbing 7 probes. A little disappointing that you couldn't stop 1 or 2 more probes from dying, honestly, but this is overall a failure for the Terran player. Aggressive counterattack is a neat idea, but unfortunately not really working out. Good focus fire from the Terran to stop the Cyclone from being crowd controlled. Another Phoenix shows up to help again, but it's really not worth it, and this was a bit of a subpar counterattack, shall we say. Am I going to GSL tomorrow to cheer Byun on? Yeah. Really, I'm mostly there for Estrella, though. It's very difficult the liquid bets, because my heart says Estrella, but my head says Byun and Dark, but we'll see. So Creator's counterattack not exactly successful, but he still remains 9 workers ahead, which is actually quite good. That's a bit better than where you'd want to be versus a Terran player. Creator was one of the more promising PvTers even before the patch, and the patch tried to improve on this matchup. I'm not really sure that it did, but, you know, whatever. But he was definitely willing to experiment with some, like, fast storm builds, for instance. He definitely had a solid understanding of how to try and make this Colossus Phoenix defensive play work. And I think he went on record and said that he actually likes the patch. And this is after facing a couple of Zergs, but he might also mean versus Terran. So far, he's doing a good job defending his 3rd Nexus. Would be even better, however. Hold on, never mind, actually. Shield battery needed to be there. I was going to say, the shield battery would have made it easy peasy. Unfortunately, without it, the Immortal does get taken down. The Phoenix is not quite confident enough. They're already losing 2 of their brethren to pop up in here, and 2 Stalkers significantly weakened from earlier battles. Although Immortal does pop through, 1 Stalker barely saved with the shield battery, but this is not the ideal start that I thought it you know, initially it was like, oh, okay, and then it was, oh no, not okay. But the Marines will eventually be pushed back, trying to focus fire down the Phoenix as much as they possibly can. And Oliveira does have, hopefully, enough back at home, yeah, absolutely, to stop any counterattack from happening once more, but Creator, you know, really would have loved to have been able to save that 2nd Immortal. Just that lack of shield battery hurt him. Oh, well. So we got Zealots, or no, not Zealots. We got Phoenix in the main base, getting 5 SCV kills. That's always nice, but they will now be out of position to help against the medevac. I am feeling a little bit of drag here, so I'll probably reduce the quality a little bit in a second, but the 2 medevacs are going to be able to get on top of a would-be 4th Nexus. The probe's actually headed over there, so now it's a scout, I guess. Not even 4th Nexus, it's scout. And the Phoenix were able to make it back just in the nick of time, a little bit late, as most of the Marines will be able to unload. Ever combat shields, not quite dumb. Those Marines are going to be very vulnerable, especially against this Colossus. Big Papa Colossus coming out. A recall is used. I'm not sure that was actually necessary. Well, okay, well, I'll explain later, but oh no, Widow Lines! Oh, all focus firing on top of that Colossus. Poor Creator. I thought the Colossus was just going to run, like, to use this cliff walk to kill the Marines. And then the probes could have been pulled away, but I guess, man, but the recall is such a dangerous maneuver because of exactly what happened, which is that it recalls and puts your army around your Nexus, which kind of makes it more vulnerable to the DPS of the Terran, and apparently Widow Mines. That's very unfortunate. Ugh, I don't really want to put it on low. What is this, a pro gamer stream? Phoenix are in position for this drop. It's a Widow Mine drop. It's not going to work. 100% not. Yep. Good turnaround there. Three drops on the right side, further delaying a 4th Nexus, which I'm not even sure the Creator was really gonna... I mean, in an ideal world, I guess he would have, but this is clearly not an ideal game. Pretty good start, but then things have really gone topsy-turvy. Oliveira now on 3 bases, saturated, 2-2, 2-1. Sorry, is on the way, my bad. Creator actually only just now working on his +1 attack. Does have now 3 Colossus, this 3rd one's gonna pop, but it really sucks that he had to build that extra one. Widow Mine's focus fire is pretty worth it. Yep, pretty worth. Fine, I guess I will go low. No breaky. Oh man, low is so different than medium. Holy snap. Oh, this is what it's like to be a pro gamer. Oh, it's so not detailed. Ah! I hate it. It's the worst. Thanks, I hate it. Anyways, I'll get used to it, it's fine. feel like everything got brighter, too. Am I crazy? We're in agreement that happened? Gonna do a little mix, maybe. It's a little better. Okay, it's a little better. It's fine. We got ourselves a macro PVT. Creator had a, as I said, a great start, really, and then just maybe dropped the ball a little bit in the counter, but then really the recall on his third Nexus is more complicated. But he still is in an okay position, but ditto on Oliveira's side, who is building up a rather perfect Terran army. Many Marauders, many Vikings, many upgrades, much WoW. For one thing he's not getting are a couple missile turrets on the main base, so unfortunately the Warp Prism always going to get the Warp in. A lot of Vikings, the Warp Prism will die, but it was there fast enough. The Zealots now causing some problems. Maybe not as much as really they're worth, however, especially as the Zealots on the third base are also taken out. Yeah, probably not worth what was a total of something like 8 Zealots plus the Warp Prism for 6 SCVs, and hardly a lot of distraction time either. Oliveira wasn't pushing out. Now knows the Warp Prism's taken care of as well, so as he prepares to push out, gets maxed out, gets the Planetary on the 4th, and finishes up those upgrades, it's gonna actually be perfect for Oliveira. Creator, I don't know if he invested into another Warp Prism already. No, he has not. Not gonna have that distraction. I guess he could just throw a couple of Zealots across the map from this pylon, I suppose, but... that's where the army's gonna be headed. Planetary's protecting the other course. 2-2 is almost done. +2 is done for Creator, but still 2 upgrades behind his opponent, plus the ship weapons for Oliveira's very good Viking count at 10. That's pretty ideal, maybe 12. The streams are lacking tonight. Yeah, I didn't notice a lot of commentators on today. That is a very powerful Terran army. The Disruptor are now a little bit more supply inefficient. But the goal is basically still to get to the Disruptor phase, even if they're a little bit worse. I don't know if that was really a success for the patch, I'm gonna be honest with ya. But we also have Creator on 5 bases with still a very, decent potential to get Disruptor shots. That hasn't changed. Dark Templar Blink is on the way. Further upgrades as well, which your Creator really does need. Behind 2 full upgrades, quite sketch. 8 SCVs did go down to some harassment, though, and Oliveira is not really gunning for a fight. 5 Disruptors are intimidating, but... I kind of feel like Clem would have gone for it, or something. Maybe not the best idea, but I feel like he would have gone for it. Anyways, Liberators are on the way, so Oliveira is setting his sights to a later stage in this game, even further than 4 bases, 5 bases, and more Liberator focus. His +2 ship weapons already over halfway done. He will continue to have better upgrades, even as Creator is finally added on a second Forge. I love that Creator is trying to get ahead of that Stargate, the Starport with the Stargate. Has his Stargates done and has his +1 also on the way. But he has to exchange supply before he fills in some anti-air, more reliable anti-air. Whereas Oliveira just merely adding 2 Liberators to this army would be huge, especially with this awesome concave he's got going. The Disruptors tried their best to hold on, but it was a complete failure. Almost all the Terran army survived, and then is going to decimate the rest of the Gateway army, no problem. Creator's Colossus actually stuck back at home, I guess intentionally, but... not that they would have helped right there, to be fair. Now they're going to be coming in, but the Vikings are still alive. Oliveira just took a dominating fight. Now he's coming in here with the Liberators, finishing up their advanced ballistics, his 3-3 finishing. This is going to be an absolute slaughter. Oliveira being handed one of the easier fights. It's going to take game number 1. And to be fair, that was quite the good concave and setup there. The Creator maybe shouldn't have allowed happen in that way, but that was... yikes. Surprisingly easy. Oh no. Okay, here we go. So we got game number 2 now. The bottom left, it is Creator. In the top right of Alcyone, it is Oliveira. Always say Alcyone. Ash. Trying Tried to take down as many programs as I can in the background, so hopefully StarCraft is being mainly focused on, but... Oh, shit! Whoops. Task manager was like, I don't know, bro. What are you doing, buddy? Fortunately, StarCraft 2 did not crash. Perhaps a little full screen action might be better. Seems pretty good. I think that's the ticket there. All right, so Oliveira once again going for an engineering bay block, but this time Creator not finding it as fast. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is slower than last time, although I only really caught a glimpse of it. And it's definitely not being taken care of, that's for sure. Definitely not scouting this in time to pull the probes to actually get the damage done prior to the engineering bay being healthy. Because you can find it at like 10-15%, then yeah, it's not going to last long enough for the Terran. But you get up to the 99%, there's only one answer for the Protoss at that point, and that is take a third base as your natural. That is the only answer. You can't really change your build into a one base all-in unless you were already planning to do so, and then you kind of just scoff. We did see Hero in KSL change up the way that you then follow up this third Nexus. He went Twilight Council, but that wasn't the most important thing. The most important thing was that he also made a wall. Now, Creator still has prioritized the anti-Reaper cliff, so if he made a wall, it'd be like a pylon and second... I don't know what it would be. But, you know, you can't do it because such a expected follow-up to this is the Hellions and or Cyclones at this particular junction with the new patch. Oliveira went for Hellions last game. They didn't actually work out, but, yeah, you know, whatever. But now he's going to go for the Cyclones, which Hero's wall worked fine against the Hellions, but I did wonder what would happen if it was Cyclones. It's not going to be a wall anyway, and so if it's not a wall, basically the response to an engineer bay block is Stargate. You can theoretically get away without going for it, but it's quite difficult if they do end up going for Hellions, and the Cyclones are another wrench thrown into things. And that's like the current issue, is that it kind of sucks that the Protoss didn't really get a lot of help. And then they were given another concern in the early game, is the really sucky part. So they have to be concerned not about Hellions, and only Hellions really when they see that factory with a reactor on it, which is a certain way of defending. They also have to worry about the Cyclones, and the Cyclones counter the way you defend Hellions. Thank you very much, Viking Briggs, for the 20 months. The Oracle's gonna die! Oh god, and the Hellions get into the probe line. One Cyclone is quite injured, a Phoenix is on the way, and this will not end in total disaster. But it is still, you know, it costs 3 probes, it costs the Oracle, it gets the shield body overcharge, it might cost an Adept. The Phoenix is now in trouble because the second Cyclone is still alive, although not for very long. Just kidding. Okay, so one healthy Cyclone is alive. The Phoenix can't help out anymore anyway. Shield battery's gone. More probes will die. And even as Creator tried to handle this as well as he could... Wait, whoa! What happened? Wait, what? Did Hellions get into the main base? Oh my god. 11 probes just went down. Oh my god. Thank you, TNT13, for the Prime sub. What the hell happened? I guess he, like, stacked up a little. I mean, his gas geyser probes, at the very least, were stacked up for a single Hellion or something? What? Oh, no. Even before that jumped up in probe kills, that was already not a great start for Creator, who, again, probably had this on his mind and was going to try and defend it. Because I've seen worse holds. Clem versus Max Packs. Clem just, like, instantly KO'd Max Packs. But that was still not a great hold, and then it got even worse. And Creator said he liked this patch, by the way. Oh, this is not looking super great for the Protoss. The rest of the bracket, I think, has hero and stats. Saw them in StarCraft 2. Maybe some other Protosses. I thought this would be a pretty good best of 3 just because Creator has had really fun PvTs before the patch, but Oliveira getting a surprisingly easy win in game number 1 with that huge concave. And then game 2, finding even more damage than I expected with his opener. It really does make you wonder, did Creator just purely mean PvZ was better? Because this ain't so pretty. This ain't so pretty. Tank's gonna get sieged up. Not in range of the shield battery, thankfully, but nonetheless. Charge is not done. That's a bummer, and they're gonna have to take a fight outside of shield battery overcharge range, and Oliveira is just gonna pick and pick and pick at this Protoss army. 2 Cyclones, one of them gets taken down, tank gets taken down, and the Marines were combat shieldless. So Oliveira is forced to retreat, but it looks like it might be successful. Anything coming to actually save this? Yeah, a couple of Marines are. We'll fully unload. If it actually even dies, it will not die. That was very close indeed, but still, a successful escape for Oliveira, who is only behind by 2 workers, which we know is great for the Terran, especially as all of his upgrades finish. His infrastructure is not complete, to be fair, but 3rd base on location feels very good about this game. Creator, 3 base setup, yes, but the probe count, not very good. Charge, still not done. Please, God, finish. We'll definitely finish for this next fight, but just very concerning situation as Creator is able to hold that push, but the next one is even more frightening. 2 more medevacs in play, many, many more bio units and upgrades. Combat shields and +1 will be done alongside that Marauder slow. It's going to be tough holding. Overcharge should be available somewhere. At least one of the medevacs got taken down as well. But Oliveira can focus almost entirely on the forward push. Nothing happening back on his side of the map. Working on that +1 armor, getting the armory, kind of getting set up for the macro game. He did this last time. Creator will have some wiggle room, maybe to take some risks, try and recover in this game. Perhaps Storm will be that risk. Something he's experimented with prior, but it's a bit odd to see that with Phoenix. Yeah, it could happen, sure. I think his plan was to go more balls to the wall zealots, but being picked at like that and then having a kind of subpar economy doesn't really gel with the mass gateway style. Stronger recovery Protoss is usually more so the Colossus-based one, especially now that the interference matrix is seen less in pro games. Oh, that's what I'm gonna drop at the main base. Last time the Phoenix were in position. This time, in position enough. Only 3 probes is actually fine. That's a kind of a big sacrifice, honestly, from Oliveira. A medevac and 4 Widow Mines, assuming this one dies. That was a deficit there, created for Oliveira, but he's really still in a good position. 3 base setup now saturated. 2-1 on the way. Once again, gonna have those superior upgrades. Creator is going for a 4th base fairly fast, combining, again, the idea is going along with a mass gateway, but he does need to get into some AoE. Because we're kind of skipping ahead at this point. This is, you know, Oliveira didn't really want to pull the trigger in the last game until he was very confident he would win. Kind of seems like we're headed the same direction. So we're kind of skipping past maybe some more tug of wars and mass drops and things that would happen in some other PvTs you might see. And we're getting into Oliveira waiting for his upgrades, maxed out army, 4 base setup with possibly Liberators on the way. So that's why I was saying Creator might be able to take some bigger risks, which might include advancing technology. When, if he's just constantly scared of being killed, he would be hesitant to do. But he really does need to advance on, move on from Mass Gateway. That's certainly not going to work at this point in time. What the? How did this happen? I guess the Zealot went to scout here, and the Widow Mine was for anti-warp prism, and they just happen to find each other. True love. +1 will be done for Creator, and 2 Colossus will hopefully be out. Again, Oliveira, I don't think he's going to be looking really all that intently on an attack. 4th base kind of reveals that. It might be similar to last game, where if the creator just plays defensive close to the vest, probably won't be concaved and killed like last time. Phoenix going for a little bit of a dive bomb. Managed to find a couple of units, but Oliveira looking to be more aggressive than last. He did posture last game and then just had to move away, but he scans ahead and still sees no Colossus. They are about to pop out. In fact, they are popped out. They're just not here. Phoenix are recalled. The creator realizing that he needs all hands on deck. The 2 Colossus actually being out should be enough. The force fields by that time as well, and that is a good maneuver. Colossus getting a little too bold without extended thermal lance, but cleaning up the Widow Mine's definitely a good thing if he can. He's a little bold. But again, the Observer sees everything. So 4th base will be done soon for Oliveira, who I think you gotta push some of those issues. You gotta position yourself to threaten someone who didn't have the Colossus there. But I just kind of felt it in my bones that he wasn't really gonna commit. He's not certainly planning on YOLOing when he has such a strong setup into the macro game, which he really does. It's very similar to the last game. That I thought Creator could play out, but it was just one of the best concaves possible, with the Protoss army being at like 70% power. Not that 100% power would have been enough. I think the Terran army would still win, be super clear, but it was odd looking at the entire Protoss army get decimated. And then 3 Colossus were like, what? Huh? What do you know? Now it's all combined together, and it's actually going on the offensive. The Viking count far less powerful than it was in the last game. I think at this point it was already up to 10. Now it's only at 3. But that is a good concave again, or a decent one at the very least. EMPs being thrown down as well. Force fields are making problems for some Marines, but the Colossus really aren't focusing on them. And I think the concave will end up being enough, especially with the 2 upgrade advantage yet again for Oliveira as he pushes through here. Warp Prism Juggle to try and save the day, but it can only ever do so much. And Creator is going to regret that move in. Absolutely, the upgrade showing their power, the Medivacs being pretty full on energy too, because there really haven't been any battles. And then the Colossus spending a lot of time killing Marauders, as opposed to the Marines that were all types of bunched up in front of those force fields. A couple of things that could have gone better with a little bit more control, I guess, but then other things that just, you know, the kind of warning signs and not to do a push like that, and to be very quick to the retreat if you do a push. That's usually where disruptors would play a part. When the Protoss player goes, oh shit, I'm not winning, and then they just throw out disruptors to try and back away, and or force fields, which Creator did not have. And now Creator is screwed? Maybe? He is still on 4 bases, in fact 5, with this 5th being a gold that maybe Oliveira won't scout, you know, pretty please, yeah. And Zealots are going to try and buy some time, but Oliveira still has 4 bases with his production and Liberators on the way, with his 3, well, at least 3 attack. Armor was started quite late. But he's not even stopping here. The Liberators are already on the front lines. No, I guess, important upgrades necessary. They just have that +1, but they are still very effective. Vikings landing once they realize no Colossus are in play. This base will be taken down, and this base will inevitably be taken down. There's the scouts on it. Meanwhile, the Zealots have been cleaned up. They did not buy that much time. They did not do that much damage, and Creator technically still has an army that could do the work. It's not totally down and out yet, but he's in a very poor position, and he's about to lose his 5th base, which he absolutely needs. I think Oliveira just figures I can kill you right now, but he could also just evacuate and kill this base. Hey, there you go, there you go. Leith563, thank you for the Prime sub. So now Creator's going to be on 3 bases with kind of healthier 3 bases, weirdly enough, because this is his 4th and this was his 3rd, but still not, you know, all that healthy. Stalkers came in with the Warp Prism to try and add on to the damage, check out the Liberators, and it was effective. 27 SCVs were killed. So initially the Warp Prism wasn't doing a whole lot, but that just jumped up pretty freaking quickly. Nonetheless, Oliveira with 5 command centers actually still has 55 SCVs, a totally fine number with mules. Could build 4 or 5 at a time as well. Still has those upgrades finishing up to give him a 3 upgrade lead? 4 upgrade lead, Jesus, 4 upgrade lead. And he's got ship weapon +2 and advanced ballistics finishing for the Liberators. There's really very little hope for Creator. I love the idea with the second Warp Prism, probably one that he thought would replace this one, it just lasted longer, but it also died. Creator needs to depend on disruptors, which are a great comeback tool, but he cannot get concaved on like he did in the last game. The Stalkers make this army look like it's a decent size because they're thick boys, but we know Stalkers will melt, especially super out-upgraded, but even if they weren't, Stalkers don't combat 3/3 bio. So it's all about the disruptors. Fourth base in the vertical position. Oliveira's going to scout that with a simple drop, which will be cleaned up, I guess, and it's good news. Bad news is Oliveira is taking the position now on the map to take the choke of Creator's natural. Oh, no. Goodbye economy, goodbye production. Creator forced now to go into the base trade. Down 20 army supply. A whopping... Wait, 4 upgrades. I was right, my math is right. A whopping 4 upgrades. Does take down the planetary. Lickety split, no upgrades on the building, and the SCVs didn't bother repairing. These things could get screwy. This is the best chance for Creator to stay alive in this best of 3 is to initiate a base trade. Then the Terran gets a little sloppy. They don't siege Liberators when they should. They run face first into Disruptors, especially if the pros come on top of production. Now both of their production is now camped, so kind of evening the odds there as well. However, Creator is losing all of his Nexus, and that is a huge problem. He does have 1,000 minerals in the bank and 56 probes. We got probes actually about to be found out by a double drop, which will absolutely win that fight. But, I mean, it's still something. You has to cancel that Nexus, but the probes will leave. The SCVs join up. How you doing? What's up? Tough day at work, isn't it? Okay, see you later, buddy. But Oliveira's army supply still has that advantage. 30 army supply above, 4 upgrades above, and as long as it doesn't run face first into Disruptors, that will win every single fight. Oliveira able to lift, obviously, as a Terran player, save all of his production, all of his command centers, maybe not all of them. 2 orbitals and a command center. But he also has 1,000 minerals in the bank as well. He will be supply blocked eventually, so he probably won't be producing very much, but what are Creator's probes doing? I'm not so sure. Where have they gone? Where did you go, Cotton Eye Joe? They're all just stacked up in the bottom left. Please do not find us. Please do not find us. Successful! Freaking ninjas right there. Liberators. Oh my god. That's 8 Liberators with +2. They have to be caught out of position. Oliveira has to not run in face first into Disruptors and not have his Liberators fly over Stalkers. That's his win condition here. And he's going to bring the fight to Creator. Creator now getting concaved once again. It's deja vu. Disruptors trying their best to save the day, but they will not find the shots necessary. And Oliveira will 2-0 Creator to start off this Korean Open Cup. GG's. Well played by him.